Vegas, we got the dub. Heading back. See y'all on Tuesday.
The Las Vegas Aces have been a dominant force in the WNBA, but behind the scenes, things may not be as flawless as they appear. Sydney Colson, a key locker room presence and fan favorite, recently opened up about the real reason she left the team. While many believed her departure was simply a routine roster move, Colson's comments suggest there was more going on than fans realized. Her revelation didn't sit well with Aya Wilson, sparking a strong reaction from the star player. Stay tuned for the full story, because this development is big news.
So, Sydney Colson is obviously a player for the Indiana Fever. Someone signed to be Caitlin Clark's backup, and she is a...
Sydney Colson's departure from the Las Vegas Aces was initially seen as just another offseason roster move. Teams make adjustments, shifting players and trades to prepare for the upcoming season. However, when Colson recently revealed the real reason behind her exit, it sparked a chain reaction no one expected. Aya Wilson, the face of the Aces, didn't simply brush it off. Her reaction made it clear she was upset. Fans immediately began speculating. Why would Wilson, known for her leadership and calm demeanor, be so frustrated over Colson's comments? What exactly did Colson say that hit such a nerve with Wilson and the team?
The old idiot old WNBA media journalists say that she has been brought in to replace Caitlin Clark. That the Fever have realized Caitlin Clark because Stephanie White said we're going to be trying to play Caitlin Clark off the ball a little bit and run different stuff. According to some people, I can't remember where I read it, but they believe that Sydney Colson is actually coming in to start at the point.
Sydney Colson wasn't just any bench player for the Las Vegas Aces. Sure, she might not have been a star on the court, but her presence in the locker room was crucial. She was a leader, a veteran, and the glue that held the team's chemistry together. Every successful team needs someone like Colson, someone who may not always dominate the scoreboard, but knows how to keep the team united. When Colson left the Aces, most assumed it was just a routine move. After all, the Aces had bigger names like Aya Wilson, Kelsey Plum. Sydney Colson's revelation about her exit from the Las Vegas Aces has sent shockwaves through the WNBA. But it was Aya Wilson's response that really escalated things. What should have been a routine offseason move has quickly turned into one of the biggest controversies of the year. Colson didn't name names, but her comments about frustrations, lack of support, and feeling undervalued pointed directly to internal issues within the Aces organization. Wilson's immediate, furious reaction only confirmed what fans were beginning to suspect. Colson had hit a nerve. So, what exactly went down behind the scenes, and could this be the start of an even bigger scandal brewing in Las Vegas? *** Wilson's reaction. A sign of guilt. *** Aya Wilson is no stranger to controlling the narrative. She's the face of the Las Vegas Aces, a back-to-back champion, and one of the most influential players in the WNBA. When she speaks, people listen. But her response to Colson's comments wasn't the cool, composed reaction you'd expect from a leader. Instead, it was emotional, defensive, and aggressive. Wilson didn't just brush it off. She went out of her way to address it. "Winning isn't for everybody," she tweeted, a clear shot at Colson. But here's the thing. Colson never said anything about not wanting to win. She didn't imply that she couldn't handle the pressure. So why did Wilson take it there? When people get defensive, it often signals there's something they don't want exposed. Instead of simply saying, "We love Sydney and we'll miss her," or even "This is just business," Wilson turned it into an attack. This raises serious questions. If there was nothing happening behind the scenes, why would Wilson feel the need to shut down the conversation so aggressively? It's as if Wilson wasn't just responding to Colson. She was trying to silence her. And that's where things get even more interesting. Power struggles and locker room tension. The Aces have been a dominant force in the WNBA, but history has shown that success doesn't always equal harmony. In fact, super teams often have the most locker room drama. When you have multiple big personalities, superstars, and egos on one team, power struggles are inevitable. The Aces have shown signs of tension for a while now, and Colson's departure could be just another chapter in this story. Take the Dearica Hamby situation, for example. Hamby was a fan favorite and a core part of the Aces championship run. However, when she became pregnant, The Aces pushed her out. Not only did they trade her, but she later revealed that the organization mistreated her while she was pregnant. Hamby made it clear that the Aces no longer saw her as part of their long-term plans, and the WNBA even launched an investigation into how the team handled the situation. Now, with Colson hinting at deeper issues within the Aces, fans can't help but wonder, is this just another example of how the Aces operate behind closed doors? The pattern is starting to become impossible to ignore. The question of favoritism, one of the most prominent theories floating around is that Colson's frustrations stemmed from a feeling of favoritism within the team. It wouldn't be surprising, considering the Aces have a core group of players, Aya Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young, that is central to the team's success. While this makes sense from a basketball standpoint, it's easy to see how other players might feel like their voices don't matter as much. Could Colson have felt like certain players were given special treatment? Did she feel like there was an inner circle within the team that she wasn't a part of? This dynamic is all too familiar in the world of super teams. Think back to the NBA's Golden State Warriors during their dynasty years. Draymond Green, though an integral part of the team, has often spoken about the feeling of being overshadowed by the big three of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. Could Colson have felt similarly marginalized in the Aces locker room? If she wasn't a part of that inner circle, could she have felt isolated or unappreciated, leading to the frustration she mentioned in her interview? The dynamic between star players and supporting cast members is always tricky. When a team has several dominant personalities, it's natural that some players will feel sidelined, no matter how important their role may be. But if Colson felt overlooked or undervalued, her departure starts to make a lot more sense. Is this just the beginning? If there's one thing the WNBA has shown over the years, it's that players are no longer afraid to speak out. From the social justice movements to calls for better treatment and pay, players are taking control of their own narratives. Colson's comments and Wilson's response suggest that there's more to this story than meets the eye. Could Colson's departure be the first crack in the Aces' otherwise dominant facade? Is this just the beginning of a bigger controversy surrounding the team? As more players, former or current, speak out, we could see even more revelations about what's really going on in Las Vegas. One thing is for sure, this story isn't going away anytime soon. The Aces' internal dynamics are under a microscope, and with Colson's words and Wilson's response, the tension is only growing. Fans, players, and the media are all watching closely to see what unfolds next, because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that nothing stays quiet in the WNBA for long. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green were the untouchable core of the Golden State Warriors dynasty, but the other role players were often seen as replaceable, no matter how important they were to the team's chemistry. Could this be the same situation happening in Las Vegas with the Aces? Sydney Colson might have spoken up about the internal struggles, only to find herself pushed out, just as others have been in the past. Aya Wilson's reaction to Colson's comments suggests she wasn't pleased with what Colson had to say, and when combined with how Dearica Hamby was treated, it becomes clear there's more going on behind the scenes than what's being said publicly. Could this be just the tip of the iceberg? Colson didn't outright attack anyone in her interview. She hinted at problems, but stopped short of revealing the full picture. But what if she decides to say more? What if she names names and reveals exactly why she felt pushed out? Right now, Wilson and the Aces seem focused on controlling the narrative, trying to shut down the rumors before they get too big. But the more Wilson lashes out, the more people start to wonder, what is she trying to hide? Let's not forget Colson isn't the only player to leave the Aces under tense circumstances. If other former players step forward with similar grievances, the situation could escalate quickly. Multiple players confirming Colson's hints could transform a small controversy into a full-blown scandal. The more players speak out, the harder it will be for the Aces to keep this under wraps. The future of the Aces dynasty currently. The Aces are still on top of the WNBA. They're back-to-back champions, with one of the most stacked rosters in the league. But as history shows, dynasties can crumble quickly when drama takes over. Look at the Los Angeles Sparks. They went from being a dominant force to struggling after locker room issues destroyed their team chemistry. The Houston Comets, once one of the greatest teams in WNBA history, collapsed under internal conflict. Could the Aces be heading in the same direction? If more details come out, if more players back up Colson's claims, it could create a toxic environment that affects their performance on the court. And when you're trying to win championships, the last thing you need is internal strife, dragging the team down. Wilson might think she's shutting down the noise by firing back at Colson, but in reality, she's making it worse. Her reaction has only made fans more curious, more suspicious, and more willing to dig deeper into what's really going on behind closed doors. If she keeps reacting this way, she might inadvertently expose more than she's trying to hide. Asterisk, asterisk, what happens next? Asterisk, the big question now is, will Colson say more? She's still holding back. She could have easily dropped names and aired specific details about what really happened, but she didn't. That means she's either protecting someone or waiting for the right moment to fully speak out. If Colson decides to tell her side of the story, the Aces could be in serious trouble. Right now, the team is trying to keep the focus on winning another championship. But if this drama continues to grow, it could tear them apart from the inside. And if there's one thing we know about players who feel disrespected, it's that they don't stay quiet forever. Colson's comments have already rocked the WNBA world, and now it's just a matter of time before we hear the full truth. Was Colson's departure just business, or is there real tension behind the scenes in Las Vegas? What's really going on within the Aces locker room? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on this growing drama. The story is far from over, and it's only going to get more interesting.